Hey, what is up again, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTubeverse? I am back for a vlog this time. Just got back from work. I am in a lot of hip pain because of the sciatica thing. I got my good old nobody. Ow. Cat jumped on my leg and scratched through my jeans. I was trying to show you my cane. He tries to play with the bottom piece of the cane, man. So, anywho, with that, I'm a hippie. My name is Nick, and most of this channel's about animals. Rorschach. And we're back. Cat tried to play with my cane to the point where he was knocking it over, so I had to go ahead and tuck it away to right there. He don't know no better, so I didn't get mad at him with nothing or anything like that. But what I'm going to do today, the topic of today, I thought of something to actually talk about for once, rather than just rambling at y'all. I was thinking a lot about what I was kind of like in the past and things about me that I've definitely changed. And I remember some of the things that kind of got me there. So let me talk about a bit of that, and maybe someone going through something similar or feeling something similar. We might be able to let you know it's okay and things will get better. So let's start with when things started going not so well for me. It was in college. I wanted to be a music teacher, man. I wanted to teach music to middle school specifically. It was one of the hardest years of my own personal life. He just spilled his water again, son of a gun. He only does that when I'm here, too. That water. Buddy, I'm trying to have important conversation, and you are just being a squitch. I gotta clean up that mess now. If that mess will be there for a second, though, I gotta finish my thoughts here, man. So see, nothing goes the way you expect. I wanted to be a music teacher for middle school. Even back in 2007, it was difficult to find a job because, as a music teacher, because they were trying to cut that out even back then. It's not changed in 20-something years, man. So it's been almost 20 years, actually. It's been for the last, well, actually 20 years, because even before I started, I knew what was going on. And I kind of went into the program trying to be a music teacher, thinking about that. Now, here's the problem. So, yeah, music teacher, cool, whatever. They had me on the wrong thing. They had me on the wrong, what is it called, major. I was under an arts major, because I went to, buddy, chill. Chill. Goodness. Crazy, wild child. I was under an arts major rather than a music major. And because of that, they really wasted a lot of my time. Buddy. Check this, boo. Ah. Yeah, what are you doing? You gotta chill. He's in play mode. Yeah, he don't break no skin or anything. He's just little tiny bite marks and stuff here and there when he play. He hadn't seen me all day. I just got home, so I am sorry for the interruptions, but this is what's going to happen on this channel and my reaction to what's going on. So best way to handle when an animal does that to you, especially a kitten. He's still a kitten. He looked big, but he's still a kitten. So, like I was saying, things didn't go the way I wanted to. And the wrong major path and everything, it was a bit my fault too. I wasn't doing things right. I wasn't double checking to make sure I did right. I didn't go to the right counselors. I went to basic counselors rather than the official music building counselors. So everything was a mess, man. Absolutely everything. And because of that, I kind of like gave up, I would say, floated through life. Something I really thought was something that I wanted to do didn't happen. And I was left kind of reeling to figure out what I could do. So rather than anything else, I went to do jobs. I had to work. Things had to get done. So I'm doing that. And then I just kind of stopped caring and about life and stuff. Some got into bad stuff like drugs and stuff, but that's all the details, and that's nothing that I really care to talk about too much on the channel. I've tried making conversations about it, and I feel like it's forced or something. I think that kind of topic would be better in like a Q&A kind of format where someone asks me about it and I can let them know exactly what the situation was. But for me to just sit there and try and reflect and talk about it doesn't do justice to what I feel like it can help people as. So it's not that I'm afraid to talk about. It's just every time I try to, and I look back at it, I feel like I haven't said enough or the right thing. So the best thing I think in that format would be someone ask me, and I'll tell you what's up. But because of the bad stuff and everything, I started just going spiraling away. Buddy, you're crazy. And yeah, it was just not even living. It was waiting to die, kind of a thing. And that happened because something I thought I really wanted to do fell apart, and I couldn't find out what to do from there. It was actually getting lady, my first leopard gecko. Now I had a dog all this time named Nanook. In college, my first job, I was at Lowe's. So while I was working there, that's when he came into my life with a puppy. He was a bit more grown, but he was a puppy. And with him, I didn't really keep any other animals or anything because a husky full-time thing. And even then, I feel like there are times where I messed up on him, when I didn't do him right. So didn't give him the right kind of foods, didn't have the right kind of knowledge, that kind of thing. He lived until about 11 or so. He died of skin cancer at the end of it all. So big bummer, very sad. And that was in 2018 when that happened. 2019, I found Lady, and all that just kind of rekindled and reignited my animal stuffs. Everyone knew I knew stuff about animals and nature. Like, that was kind of my thing. But it wasn't my career choice, especially because I knew enough about animals to be like, I don't want to be a zookeeper. I don't want to work with those kind of things. The big scary animals are big scary animals for a reason, and keeping them in captivity makes them even more unpredictable than when they are in the wild. So I didn't want to do that, and I didn't feel like pet store was the right thing for me. And eventually it was starting to work at pet stores and stuff where people started hearing what I had to say and recognizing that stuff that was pretty obvious to me and things that didn't really, make it so. That was pretty obvious stuff to me. It made it so things I was saying that I felt a lot of people probably should have known, I was surprising them. They were saying, well, you know a lot of stuff. It's like, what do you mean? That's just basic knowledge, right? For animals? Did you not learn it? And they're like, no, a lot of people didn't. I have old Zoonoticals. I need to find that box, dude. It's with some old Nintendo powers when I was a kid. But I have old zoo books when I was a kid. The Pick Your Own Book Project, animals. I never thought animals could be a career or anything. And I had started watching the animal YouTubers and people who were doing stuff. And I loved that idea, Now, am I trying to get to the ranks of big super duper animal YouTuber? I ain't pushing for it. If it happens, that's amazing. But I'm going to let the path open its way up when it's supposed to be. I'm not going to force anything. I've learned from my life what happens when you try and force things and try and do things. Because another thing I tried to do that blew up in my face is I wanted to do a comic shop. I wanted to start something with a comic shop. Now, I didn't want to do it the way that it kind of led to it being to happen, and once again got discouraged because we had a storefront planned, and that didn't work. Someone else had the money more immediately, and it went to them. So, And then from there, it was getting the product and figuring out what to do with stuff, learning about grading and what grading does. I did like some self-grading, nothing official, but to get it like actually officially graded and stuff, I had to learn about that, how much money goes into it. The more and more I learned, the more and more I realized that I rushed into something that was rather silly and would take a long time, a lot of money and effort on my own part before even thinking about making it a comic shop with a storefront and everything. So another big stinking failure when I was already down in the dumps. So by that point, I was just ready to just be done with this life. And it was a chain of events. And I wound up here at this house. The cat's being crazy. And animals just started finding me. And I started doing more and more research again, comparing stuff I knew to stuff that we've learned nowadays. And it is fascinating. You know, when I was a kid in the 90s, we used to hear the phrase, a king cobra can kill an elephant. That was all wives' tale and never true once we actually learned the science behind that. There's a lot of stuff that we thought were true about animals that are not true. And it's just amazing. It's astounding. It's wonderful to revisit. And it's some of the stuff I learned from these books I read as a kid too. So a lot of what's going on, why I've been on this YouTube stuff so strong in the last 2 years, when the channel's been out for like 10, and you can see like silly little videos my friends and I did way many years ago, back when Pokemon Go was first out. I'm pushing hard because I love animals, and I find that I can possibly do a career in this. If not through the YouTube thing, because again, if the door opens, amazing. If not, I'm a department manager of a store I'm the department manager of animals, live animals. I help with the ordering, and we decide what animals come in. We decide what plants we buy for the aquatics and everything. And we don't even keep birds and reptiles at our store, at my particular store, because we don't got the room for it. We do fish and small animals, and only a few at a time. We never keep more than 15 betta fish at the wall at one point. And we mostly buy the ones that are, about the $10 and under. We don't usually go high value like a lot of stores do, thinking, oh, let's sell the big pretty fish that are about $20 and hope they get somewhere. No, we're going to buy what we know is not going to stay in our store long. We're going to provide the information. We have poster boards and all sorts of things everywhere talking about proper betta fish and goldfish care. There's so much we're doing there. I feel like I'm fulfilling what I want to do there, but that's one store, one place. The YouTubes is an entire world of interwebs that I can reach out to. So that's a big reason why I'm in here. And I found the happiest me in that, I've been through a lot. And yet here I am. So it's okay if you're going through the ringer. It's okay if things are bad. If you're fighting an addiction and you're fighting it, keep fighting. You're gonna win. Take from this dude right here. The amount of things I used to do. And the great thing is, I don't even want to. I don't care to. There's no reason to look back anymore. I'm here. I'm kicking it. And y'all seem to be liking it. I'm over 560 subscribers just barely. And that's awesome. It's because, genuosity, being genuine, messing up words. I tried making a big word, and the big word did not happen. So, being genuine is not something that you see a lot in this kind of platform as much. And I think y'all are understanding I'm trying my best to be genuine. And I've had all sorts of comments, and even informative ones. Cat's being crazy over there. And I love it. And I'm listening to you guys too. I feel I learn off of y'all, like, as much as I'm trying to help y'all. Hopefully y'all be learning off of me. And that's another thing I don't see a lot of content creators trying to follow through. They feel like that they're the say-all, end-all, and they will double down on any of their mistakes if they think it's going to make them look bad in the end. And that's not what YouTube used to be, dude. That's not what it used to be. So thank you guys for that. Today's thing is to talk about it's okay if you're a screw up. Take it from the screw up of screw ups. And then I have this job I love. I work with a team that's amazing. And I'm on the YouTube stuff, and y'all keep liking, you'll keep commenting, you'll keep subscribing. So if a complete doofus, Dingle von Schmickleberry, idiot over here, can fix things up, be honest about where I come from. Because that's me. My family's not like that. I have a nice family. They didn't do any of that stuff. Middle class. We were never anything fancy or rich, Everyone always works hard. But at that same point, I messed up like that on my own. I was out of the house when I was doing all those bad things. Yet, still out the house. I turned it around. The big thing I went through this story some for and stuff, I'm gonna have to cut it because we're going long on this one, dudes and dudettes. But the main thing is, we are all gonna screw up. We are all gonna fail. And if you say you hadn't, you either ain't lived long enough to do so, or you straight up lying to us. It's okay to mess up. What you do afterwards makes you the person you're gonna be. And I hope, because this channel found you, or you found this channel, I hope that's in love and peace that you better yourself in. Your best you, the best person you can be, I feel is within that path. And if you don't agree, that's fine. This is not the channel for you. So, with that, if you've been listening all the way till the end here, thank you so much. I'm sorry for the cat distractions. I can't help that there's a cat in here making noise over there, being silly, playing with some plastic thing I left laying around. It's a little bottle cap, man. I told you, he has fun with bottle caps. Or I didn't tell y'all, I tell people at work all the time. Water bottle caps and stuff. I don't have to worry about getting toys. He just finds things to play with. But y'all will find your thing too. You always will. You know? You just gotta push on to the next day. With that, thank you so much for listening. It's amazing that you listened today, because I rambled for a hot minute. Y'all have a good one. Be good. Peace. Oaks.